Hey, what's up? Welcome back to True Crime Unraveled. What I want to get into tonight is Nancy Grace is at it again. This time she's ranting and raving about the quote unquote alleged vacuum cleaner that uh, Dylan spotted in Brian's hand, which I don't believe it was a vacuum cleaner. It could have been maybe a bag or something else. But yeah, she's going on a tangent tonight about the vacuum cleaner. So here we go, guys. Nancy Disgrace.
Breaking news tonight, a shock Koberger claim that an eyewitness says the killer fled the murder scene with a handheld vacuum. And now, after reading court documents, we learn, did Koberger get rid of his shower curtain? Wonder why. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us.
Just around 3 a.m., and a man named Brian Christopher Koberger was taken into custody.
Koberger claims he was driving his car, as he often did, to hike and run and or see the moon and stars.
Our defense team firmly, and I mean firmly, believes in Mr. Koberger's innocence.
Okay, well, she may be firm in her belief, but a grand jury has handed down an indictment to Truebill charging him with 4 murders. The murders of 4 beautiful University of Idaho students, dead, slaughtered in their beds. And tonight, we learned the eyewitness states the
Here we go with another half truth. They weren't all in their beds. Kaylee and Maddie was in their beds. Well, in Maddie's bed anyway. But you have Xana awakened on TikTok allegedly, and she got a DoorDash allegedly. So how could they all be asleep and slaughtered in their beds? Leave it to Nancy Disgrace.
killer fled the scene with a hand vac. Listen.
Hippler's ruling also revealed new details of what surviving roommate Dylan Mortensen saw the night of the murders. In the closed-door hearing, the defense attempts to argue Mortensen's account is unreliable, and while the judge agrees Mortensen was likely drunk during the murders, he points out that her statements to police were very similar each time, and other evidence corroborates what she witnessed. Hippler reveals that in Mortensen's second and third interviews, she mentions the suspect carrying what looked to be a handheld vacuum.
Oh, according to reports, that is so Koberger with the handheld vac. Who else would do that? Now, guys, let me go straight out to Hermania Rodriguez joining us, chief U.S. reporter with DailyMail.com and host of Welcome to Magaland podcast. No politics on Crime Stories, okay? No crime victim is a political football. So everybody keep your politics to yourself. Back to the hand vac. Hermania, what do you know?
That's right. These new court documents are offering new details about the investigation that led police to Brian Koberger. We know that there were surviving roommates that were in the house, and one of them said that she saw a bushy-eyed man. We know Koberger's eyebrows have been a topic of debate after this surviving witness said they saw a white, tall man with bushy eyebrows. Now we know that she also said in following interview,
A white, tall man with bushy eyebrows could be anybody. Like they said, she was drunk, didn't know where it was real or a dream, and I'm sure he was white. I don't know how he was white, but I'm pretty sure he was white. Anybody remember that coming out of her mouth? So, yeah, not credible witness says she sees the perpetrator carrying a handheld vacuum. I don't believe this person had a vacuum. it could have been either a coat or a trash bag or something other than a vacuum.
That he was carrying.
Okay, that's bushy. Wait a minute, Hermione, look. That, okay, hold it. That is bushy. Go ahead.
Correct. That has been a topic of discussion. And that part of the witness's testimony has never changed the description of what the suspect looked like. However, it appears that in her initial interviews, she hadn't mentioned the handheld vacuum. Now, we know that this witness has said her mind wasn't clear, that she was kind of in a dreamlike state. Of course, Kohberger's team of lawyers have gone after this young woman's credibility, saying that what she is saying cannot be trusted because she admitted to being in a not clear state of mind. Now, the judge said that even if
put Hermione up, put her up. Hermione, I asked you about the handheld vac. And so far, what I've heard is everything wrong with the eyewitness's statement. Can you tell me about the vacuum?
See, right there, guys. She don't like the fact that Dylan is wrong and her statements are wrong, and she's attacking this panelist because she is pointing out Dylan's flaws. And she don't like that. That's why she stopped her and said, I am seeing the victim's statements or the witness statements are coming up wrong. What about the vacuum? See how she changed the story real quick? Because she don't want to hear that this is a flawed, uncredible witness.
I'll give Dubé a chance to slice the poor witness to shreds before I sew her back together again. Vacuum, Hermione.
Right. So as I said, the surviving roommate said she saw the suspect, bushy, eyebrowed suspect, leaving with a handheld vacuum. She also had said, as we already knew, that the suspect said something like, I'm here to help, before he exited their home through a sliding door quietly. This witness has said she then went back to sleep, wasn't clear on what happened, but she has repeated in several interviews this detail about the handheld vacuum.
Well, obviously, it stood out in her mind. She says, oh, my stars, he had a hand vac. That's not the kind of detail you can insert into someone's memory. Okay, I need to shrink before Dubé jumps on this. Dr. Bethany Marshall joining us, a psychoanalyst joining us out of LA, author of Deal Breakers. You can find her at drbethanymarshall.com. You can see her now on Peacock. Dr. Bethany, it doesn't end there. Everybody on the panel, I want you to envision what you have in your closet, what you keep in the deep, dark recesses in the back of your closet. Okay, now listen to this.
The defense also argues that Moscow PD failed to disclose that lab testing did not reveal any of the victim's DNA in Kohberger's car or apartment, but a search warrant return did list a vacuum canister having been removed from a closet in Kohberger's Pullman apartment, where investigators also found a black glove and receipts. Kohberger's shower curtains had been removed and all trash cans were empty.
Wow, he's certainly the neat Nick. There's a lot there to dissect, but can we just talk about the fact that in his closet, in the back, dark, deep recesses of his closet, he has a vacuum canister, a spare. Do you have one of those in your closet by all your designer shoes, Dr. Bethany? I bet you don't.
I do not.
Can we talk about the killer with a hand vac? What does it say?
Well, Nancy, we use hand vacs to clean things up, right? So obviously he was anticipating a messy scene and the fact that he would need to clean things up, or he was looking for tokens or fetishes or something he could suck up before he left. So he would have
Tokens or fetishes? Tokens or fetishes? If this woman's a psychiatrist or psychologist, she needs to go back to school.
something to play with, toy with. But I think it's likely that it was just an instrument for cleaning after the commission of a crime, which obviously he got scared off and he didn't complete.
Okay, maybe I'm the crazy one on this panel, but I guess I have to spell it out for Joe Scott Morgan and Dr. Bethany Marshall. But I need the help of Dr. Monty Miller joining us, Director of Forensic DNA Expert Specialist in Forensic Science, Forensic Scientist for Texas Department of Public Safety, and it goes on and on. You can find Dr. Monty Miller at Crime Lab Forensic DNA Experts.com. Dr. Monty Miller, okay. Address on the blackboard. Spell it out for me. Why would a killer bring a hand vac to a murder scene?
Yeah, I mean, did he bring it or did he take it from there? Yeah, I mean, you would only bring it for, to clean up, to like vacuum stuff off of you, and things like that, so that.
Did he bring it or did he take it from there? Why are they so hung up on a vacuum cleaner? It just goes back to, in the media, he's guilty until proven innocent, not the other way around. What they need to be doing is looking at how uncredible witness Dylan is, because of her misstatements, because the fact she stated she was drunk. And now they're saying, oh, she was a credible and reliable witness, even though she was drunk and didn't know if it was real or a dream. And they're going off the fact that in a drunken state, she saw a handheld vacuum cleaner in this person's hand. No, sorry. Don't buy it. Ain't buying the Nancy disgrace Kool-Aid.
You wouldn't leave it in your car. So he might have just brought his own and then kind of used it to clean himself up so that he doesn't leave a mess in his car. They didn't find anything in his car, and maybe because he cleaned up.
Obviously, he took the hand vac to get rid of evidence. And no, he did not steal their vacuum cleaner. He took the vacuum cleaner with him. The only question is why? I'm going to give Joe Scott Morgan another swing at the ball. Be succinct.
So you're telling me that he thought so far ahead that he's going to bring a handheld vac with him in addition to a knife, and he's going to take time to utilize this vacuum cleaner in order to clean up. What's he going to clean up? All of the wet blood in there? Because it's not going to work. This guy's supposed to be some kind of forensic genius. Remember, they've talked about this forever and ever. This is not going to be appropriate for the task at hand. I can't imagine.
Why would he? Put him up. Joe Scott, my friend and colleague. He brings a hand vac to the scene. That's what prosecutors are going to argue, to clean up evidence. Was that feasible? Did it make sense? No. But think. Use that noodle. Joe Scott, what does he do for a living? He teaches forensic science, criminology.
Stop conflating what he does with forensic science. I've gone over this over and over and over again. He is studying criminology.
You're just saying that because you're a forensic professor and you don't like him equated with you. He's a PhD student and criminologist. He's a TA, a teaching assistant.
In criminology, not forensic science. Okay? Just because I don't know.
Okay, he's certainly no Joe Scott. You know what? Let's just everybody stipulate he's no Joe Scott Morgan. Now, that said, with his limited understanding as a student of criminology, he takes a hand vac to the murder scene thinking somehow he's going to get rid of evidence. Obviously, that's not feasible, but in his mind, having only got book learning about crime, I mean, why else would he bring a hand vac to the scene? Again, be succinct.
he's not going to bring a handheld vac to the scene. I don't believe it. I'm just not buying. This is what he brought to the
Okay,
scene.
so are you saying
That's
he
what he
stole
brought
it?
to the
Are you
scene.
saying he stole it? Did he steal
I'm-
the hand?
Thank you. I hardly ever agree with somebody on Nancy Grace's panel, but Joe Scott Morgan, thank you for debunking this vacuum theory that your panel mate keeps pushing through this entire episode. And he even showed up at K-Bar Knife. So clearly, Nancy Grace is getting mad because no one on her panel is agreeing with her. They're all basically stating, hey, Nancy, go take a bench because you're wrong this time. And she's getting mad about it. She don't like being wrong on her own show. And you can clearly tell she's getting irritated at the fact that she's being proven wrong.
Hand vac.
What I'm
Goes through
saying
the
is
whole
we
house and
have to
steals
go
a hand
back.
vac.
We have to go back.
Well, then are you saying the
witness-
witness is lying?
No, I'm saying that she's not remembering correctly, is what I'm saying. You know, bushy eyebrows, face covered, it's dark. You know, she's saying that he also had a handheld vac. Give me a break.
Okay, so you
I'm
are
not
accepting
buying.
part of her description, but not the other part because
Yeah.
you, a professor of forensics, doesn't think it's feasible. You know what? Let me just jog everyone's recollection. Listen.
A police source says Brian Kohberger cleaned his car meticulously, both inside and out, in the days leading up to his arrest. The source, speaking anonymously, says during the 4 days of surveillance at the Kohberger family's Pennsylvania home, the suspect was seen detailing his white Hyundai Elantra, quote, not missing an inch. Some of the trash taken from the car was deposited in a neighbor's trash bin at 4 a.m. Agents recovered the garbage, and some items were sent to the Idaho State Lab for testing. Detectives also seized a car vacuum reportedly used to clean out the vehicle.
Okay, Dr. Bethany Marshall, that's what we call a pattern. MO, modus operandi, method of operation. He's cleaning up at 3 and 4 a.m. wearing underwear, shorts, and plastic gloves at his parents' house. He's putting, I guess, evidence into separate plastic bags, putting them in the Dixie dumpster and putting them in the neighbor's trash, wearing plastic gloves. When they go to his home, his apartment in Pullman, 10 minutes away from the murder scene, his apartment is meticulous, no trash in the trash cans, and he has destroyed, gotten rid of his shower curtain. Think.
Okay, I've had about just my fill of Nancy Grace tonight, or should say Nancy Disgrace. And she doesn't like the fact that everyone on her panel is telling her she's wrong. So she's getting mad and telling them to focus. How about you focus, Nancy? Focus on, let's see, innocent until proven guilty. Stop obsessing over a handheld vac that a drunk girl supposedly saw in his hand. Didn't know what she was thinking, if it was real or a dream. And her famous line, he was white. I didn't know how he was white, but he was white. and we're supposed to believe this person. And you heard Nancy Grace, she was a credible, reliable witness, even though she was drunk. And you heard Joe Scott Morgan saying that the whole handheld back that Dylan saw was complete and utter BS. Like you said, what's he going to do? Suck up blood? Clean a wet and messy crime scene with a vacuum cleaner? Whoever did this, for one, would want to get in and out of the house. Two, they wouldn't want to stick around with two living roommates in the house, one drunk, saying she didn't know it was really a dream and didn't have no clue what was going on. And three, he wouldn't use a vacuum on wet, bloody floors. Nice try, Nancy. Nice try, Dylan. You're uncredible. I hope everyone has a good Friday. Yeah, I just had to get on here and do my little Nancy Grace rant. I wish she would just do like Joe Scott Morgan said. Take a seat. I really wish someone would bench Nancy Grace, because clearly now her panel mates are coming out against her. Please leave a comment down in the comment section on your thoughts on this new Nancy Grace video. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And while you're here, hit the subscribe button. And this is True Crime Unraveled. I'm out. Peace.